You're listening to PetLifeRadio.com.
I'm Smiley the dog. I am a mutt. I'm Smiley the dog. I'm super smiley. I have a cat, too sweet, the travel kitty. I have a good girlfriend, Angel's really pretty. I have a pony and we share a big horse. We have a big yard. Yeah, we have to, of course. I have a pool. In the summer I stay cool. To a fountain, live in the mountain, live high on the hog. Need to be a spokesdog. I'm Smiley the dog. I am a mutt. I'm Smiley the dog. I'm super smiley.
Woof and super smiles. Welcome to a Super Smiley Adventure on Pet Life Radio, the largest pet radio network in the world. I'm Megan Blake, the pet lifestyle coach, here with my sidekick, Giant Mutt, Super Smiley. On our show, we explore adventures where animals lead. They can be journeys for animal advocacy, for adventure and fun, and they almost always lead to paths of inner discovery and greater bonding with our pets. And many times, we learn that it's the animals who are helping the humans. And today, our very cool guest brings with him a little from all of the above. He's one of the stars of the highly acclaimed television series Breaking Bad, which has won 7 Emmys, an additional Screen Actor and Golden Globe nominations. Smiley and I are so excited to welcome RJ Mitte onto our adventure. Hi, RJ.
Hi, how are y'all? Thank y'all for having me.
Oh, we're really excited for you to be here, RJ. And first, congratulations on the amazing success of your series.
Thank you. We have a good time, and we have amazing writers and amazing directors that definitely make it all come together.
Yeah, it really does. This is an incredibly acclaimed show with 7 Emmys and additional nominations. And I understand that you started studying acting just for the social interaction and the fun. Is that correct?
Yes, I did. I came to Los Angeles when I was around 13. And I didn't know anyone. And when you're in LA, if you don't act or go to school here, you won't meet anyone your own age. So I started acting and to meet kids my own age, and it just took off from there.
That is so cool. Now, back when you were in class, when you were just studying for fun, did you ever imagine yourself on an acclaimed television series like Breaking Bad?
I never thought in my wildest dreams I'd be where I am today.
And Breaking Bad deals with some really gritty aspects of the reality that life can bring. I imagine that it could make you more appreciative of good things in life, but I don't know, when you're on a super intense series like this, how does it influence your daily life?
You know, it is very intense in the show. We do show a lot of explicit content, but we show it where it's real. We show this actually, when on our show happens, this happens in everyday life. It may not happen to the extreme, but it does happen. And I realize that, and I'm sure it's always around me, and I'm sure it's always around everyone else, but you just got to live your own life, and you can't let the evil of the world try to bring you down.
Yeah, that's a great attitude, and that's a really good lesson to take away from the show. That's very cool. And, you know, sometimes things just seem like they're meant to be. Your character, Walt White, has a very specific set of life circumstances. He has cerebral palsy, which is something that you're very familiar with, right?
Yes, I have cerebral palsy. It was interesting because when I auditioned for the role, it said CP in the auditioning, and I was like, oh, how much, like, what type of CP? Like, I was like trying to figure out what all these different things were, like, what type, how is it? And it was interesting because what my CP affected me with, it was perfect for the show, and it was perfect because it was mild enough for me to still be able to control and to be able to manipulate it. And it all worked out for the greater good.
Right. I love the way you said that, too. It worked out for the greater good because you do have a mild condition of CP, but your character has a more extreme condition, so you actually had to figure out how to enhance it, for lack of a better word, to create the character. Is that right? I
did, but for the most part, I didn't really have to enhance it too much because I've been through a lot of the same stuff that Walt Jr. went through, and it's once you kind of have to go through that and live with that for a little bit, you kind of know what to do. You're kind of there, and you know how to behave in the moment and how the CP would react when circumstances come up. And it's interesting because it was a really big eye opener to see that how I came from everything I had to overcome to back to where I came from. It was interesting because I never realized how I had to use crutches, how I had to use a wheelchair, how I had to exercise and keep moving forward.
Mm-hmm. RJ, you're such an inspiration. I mean, just the sentence you just said is such an inspiration, how you had to use these things, but then you kept moving forward. Wow, that's so cool. And you are a United Cerebral Palsy Celebrity Ambassador, right? And so you help share these things with people. Tell us a little bit about that.
I've worked with United Cerebral Palsy and other organizations to help promote and talk about having a disability and living with a disability, and showing people that just because you have a disability doesn't mean that you're disabled. And
love it.
It's like anything. With anything that you have to take it one day at a time. And UCP has been a pleasure to work with, and they're still a pleasure to work with. And they do so much good for organizations, and it's an honor, and it's really cool to see going around the country and going around the state and looking and talking to kids with disabilities and without disabilities that want to learn about disabilities. It's really nice, and it's really cool to see how many people are actually interested in disabilities. It's funny because I always thought it was just common knowledge that, people just know this. People just kind of, this is what someone has to deal with, blah, blah, blah. And not a lot of people actually understand what it takes to have a disability.
Right. And you're such an inspiration, RJ, because you do educate people. And then not only do you live a very productive life, but you're an actor, a celebrity spokesperson on this amazing television series. So that is so cool. We all applaud you for doing that. And thank you so much for being on my show on Pet Life Radio. And speaking of animals, for me, animals are healers and teachers. And I hear that you have a little dog who travels with you named Miss Pearl. And I want to hear all about your four-legged family and about the polo event coming up that's going to help kids in need. But first, we're going to catch all that right after this short break. Smiley, can you wait? Good boy.
Sit. Stay. We'll be right back after a short pause. Well, 4 to be exact.
I'm Smiley the dog. I'm Super Smiley. Must rock.
Pet Life Radio has doggone fur-flying fantastic deals for our listeners. Go to petcodeals.com and get $6 off your order of $60 or more, and up to 40% off hundreds of items at Petco. Petcodeals.com. But that's not all.
Are you talking to me?
Pet Life Radio listeners, try audible.com now and get your first 30 days of Audible Listener Gold membership plan free. And get a free audiobook. Choose from over 100,000 titles. To get this great deal, go to audibledeals.com. That's audibledeals.com. The new Dyson Animal Vacs are powerful bagless upright vacuums for homes with pets. Air muscle and radio root cyclone technology generates the strongest suction power to powerfully remove dust, dirt, and pet hair from the home or car. Go to DysonDeals.com. DysonDeals.com to order your Dyson Animal Vac today. Go to PetSmartDeal.com and save up to 30% on awesome gifts for the pets and pet people in your life. Toys, collars, leashes, PetSmart gift cards, treats, and more. Go to PetSmartDeal.com today. PetSmartDeal.com.
Let's talk pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
And we're back on a Super Smiley Adventure with highly acclaimed actor RJ Mitte from the Emmy-winning series Breaking Bad. And RJ, we want to hear all about, who is this Miss Pearl I've heard about?
Miss Pearl, she is my 18-year-old Scottie.
Oh my gosh.
I've had her my whole life. She's always been there. She's a great dog. She's still up and kicking, and she's still, every once in a while she slows down, but when she gets going, she gets going.
I love that. Yeah, Scotties are known for being feisty and independent because they're a terrier breed. I was going to ask you if Miss Pearl lived up to her Scottish heritage, but I think you kind of just answered that. What do you think? Is she feisty?
She is very feisty. What's cool about her is that not a lot of people know this, but when the Spaniards were coming over, they had Scotties on the boat.
I didn't know this. Tell us the story.
They had Scotties and Terriers on boats to get all the rats. And we had a farm, and she still, every once in a while, she will go out, and still at 18 years old, chase all the mice around the fields and stuff.
Well, you know what? First of all, she's doing her job. And second of all, that makes her very happy and keeps her young. So I think that's a lesson that we can learn from Miss Pearl. Just keep going, right? It's perfect.
I think you can't slow down.
That's right. I love it. Now, does she go with you when you're on location or when you travel? I heard that sometimes she accompanies you on your trips.
Usually she accompanies me, but it's been, I was actually talking, this is a little off track, but the polo match that we're talking about, it's actually Raising Hope for Epilepsy. And the guy that is there, that is Ross Smith, that is a very big sponsor, and he's a sponsor of the polo team, and he's a great guy. And he actually does private jets and planes. And I was talking to some people. I was like, it's so hard because I used to fly everywhere with her. Mm-hmm. Now her ears are an inch too big to fly.
Oh, no, that's right. Because first, let's back up. I've heard of Ross Smith. He's a really cool man, like you just mentioned. And he, from what I understand, he sells jets and helicopters to, clientele who can afford that. And I think I know where you're going with this. A lot of the clientele buy the jets and helicopters just so they can take their pets on the plane without putting them in cargo, right? Am I right?
Exactly. And I will not let my dog fly cargo.
Yeah, I think that's good advice.
It's safe. It's just not safe at all.
Yeah, Smiley gives you thumbs up on that. And you mentioned that her ears were an inch too long. And so let's go over that a little bit. The airplanes, they have very specific criteria for the animals, and they want to make sure that they fit in the little carrier. And with dogs particularly, they want to make sure that they can stand up and lie down and turn around without hindering anything. So poor Miss Pearl, her ears grew too big. Is that what you're saying?
So, her ears are about an inch too big. And I was like, what? I had to call someone to pick her up at the airport and figure out a way to get her to Portland.
Yeah. Oh, man. Well, I love that she goes with you when she can. And, somebody drives her sometimes to your locations. Is that correct? So she gets to company?
Usually when I'm traveling, if it's in the States, I usually will drive to whatever state, so I have my car there.
Yeah, that's
so I always bring her with me.
Very, very cool. Now, RJ, I'm from the South, and Miss Pearl sounds very Southern to me. How did she get her name?
I'm from Louisiana.
Okay, there you go.
She was originally, I had a stepsister, and she named her Tara.
Okay, and we know the people from the South, we know what that means. That's from Gone with the Wind, right, RJ?
A little bit.
A little bit, yeah. There you go. Just a little bit. Yeah, I love that. Now, RJ, are there other four-legged doggies or cats, in your family? Do you have other pets?
My dad has a Yorkie, a teacup Yorkie, and my little sister has a 4-year-old Havanese.
Oh, those are interesting dogs. A lot of people haven't heard of Havanese. Tell us about that. What's a Havanese?
A Havanese is they have a fluffier coat. It's kind of like a Maltese.
Okay.
And what the Maltese looks like, it's kind of like that. They're really, really white. They're really fluffy. They're kind of like a pillow.
I like that. I like that description. That's so great. Now, I mentioned earlier for me that animals are healers and teachers. How do you feel about that?
I definitely, animals are very important to not just adults, but to children as well, because of that they're a lifelong companion. They really are. When you have an animal and you have a pet that's there for you, and even with this event, with the polo coming up, even horses are very spiritual and very good for people that have disabilities, and it's very important that someone with a disability have someone that they can go to. And animals don't judge. There's no judging. There's no talking back. They're always there and always giving you 100% conditional love.
I love that. Everything you said, the unconditional love, they don't judge. And you mentioned the horses as healers. I agree. I have horses right here, Starfire and Minnehaha, and horses are very grounding, and there's so many equine therapy programs. Even horses do wonders with autistic kids when they get on the horses. My theory is that there's something about the movement of the horses, like a cross crawl, that helps actually balance your brain. That's just my theory. You agree with that?
I do. I met with an organization called Gallup, and they're out of New York. and they do a lot of work with horses and disabilities, and people just connect when they're with an animal, and they rely on that animal and spend time with that animal. They connect on another level, and it's an outstanding feeling to see that, and to see someone that has a learning disability or has a physical disability, that they just light up when they have that animal with them.
Right, and you use such great phrases, RJ. You said that animals help us connect on another level, and that's so well said. I believe that animals help us to connect on a different level, and then that actually helps us connect with ourselves. We kind of relearn who we are through that really grounded connection. That's sort of what you're saying, right?
No, definitely. And we've evolved with animals over the years, and we've grown up with animals over the years, and there's a primal thing to it when we are animals.
Yeah, and primal. I just love you, RJ. We are so on the same wavelength. You say there's a primal thing. I believe animals are teachers because they teach there's a purity of spirit about them, just a pureness. Like you can learn things from books or wonderful mentors or teachers or your parents, but there's something just so primary and pure about animals that when you learn a lesson from them, it really feels like it goes into your soul, right?
It does, and it's very soothing to see how animals affect disabilities and how animals affect people.
Exactly. We mentioned the polo ponies, and coming up, we're going to find out what the polo ponies and what you, RJ, are doing to help people, and that's going to be coming up right after this break. Oh, and Minnie, Haha, and Starfire, our horses, they want to be here to hear this one, so we'll be right back.
Sit, stay. We'll be right back after a short pause. Well, 4 to be exact.
I'm Scottie the dog. I'm Super Smiley. Let's rock!
Hi, this is Tim Link, animal communicator and pet expert and host of Animal Rights on Pet Life Radio. Have you ever wanted to know what your pet is really thinking? Do you want to find out if they truly understand what you're trying to tell them? Ever wish you could build a better understanding and closer relationship with your pet? Well, now you can. Learning to communicate with animals is a 4-part on-demand workshop. In the workshop, you'll learn the essential techniques that are necessary to communicate with animals, including what is animal communication, breathing correctly to achieve the perfect state to communicate with your animals at a deeper level, using guided meditation exercises and method to communicate with animals, and how to send and receive information from your animals. So if you're wanting to learn how to communicate and connect with your animals at a deeper level, visit PetLifeRadio.com/workshop and purchase and download Learning to Communicate with Animals. You'll be glad you did.
I Love My Pets, the new single by Mark Winter, available in iTunes.
Pets can be a wonderful addition to your life because they're a member of the family. Keeping them healthy and happy is important. Pet Life Radio presents The Pet Doctor with veterinary media consultant and veterinarian Dr. Bernadine Cruz. Whether you have a dog, cat, reptile, or rabbit, you'll find answers for your pets straight from the vets. The Pet Doctor, on demand every week, only on PetLifeRadio.com.
Let's talk pets.
Let's talk pets
On Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
I'm Ashley Bell, and we're on a Super Smiley Adventure. Let's rock!
And we're back on a Super Smiley Adventure with Smiley, Minnie, Haha, and Starfire, and RJ Mitte from the super acclaimed TV series Breaking Bad. RJ, we're talking about animals being healers and teachers, and coming up is an event involving you and Polo to help kids with epilepsy, which is very cool. Tell us about that.
Yeah, it's a really great event, and they came to me and they said they wanted me to come and show my support. And I know several people that have epilepsy, and it's definitely something that can be treated. And it's not really too much research has been done on it, and I'm really excited. The event is Raising Hope for Epilepsy, and it will be in Palm Springs, and it's going to be an amazing event. It's for the greater Los Angeles and San Diego County, and it's for the families that are affected by epilepsy in the Coachella Valley.
RJ, that's very cool that you're lending your time and your specific expertise to this. It's so wonderful. And RJ, the girl who's creating this event is Selina Smith Bettinger. Do you know Selina? Have you met her yet?
I have met Selina. Selena's a great woman. She's put this all on pretty much by herself. She's I think she's around 17.
Yes, she's a high school student. Right.
She is, and she's an extraordinary high school student. She's always working and always moving forward, and there's a lot of hope, and I'm so excited to see what she has in the future. This will be her first fundraiser.
Yeah, and she is quite extraordinary. Selina, like we said, she's a high school student, and her story is she was diagnosed with epilepsy when she was 5, and then she outgrew the seizures when she was 13. And she told me that she feels so lucky and blessed for having overcome it, that now she wants to show her gratitude by helping other kids with epilepsies. And like you said, this is her first fundraiser, so this is she's really jumping off. When she says she wants to help, she really wants to help, right?
She really does, and that's what's so awesome about it, is that she is giving back 110, and that she is putting this fundraiser together, and that she's doing it pretty much by herself with the support of Ross Smith and some others. But this is all her. This is her creation, and I'm happy to be a part and help her with anything. I try to show my support in any kind of these events. They need as much support as they can, because there's not that much research done, and there's not that much enthusiasm at first. And when you're trying to get people into the fundraiser event, it's very challenging.
But it is going to be a fun event as well. And I'm hoping Smiley and I can make it down there. I'm not sure if we're going to make it, but it's going to be a charity polo event, which is cool, just going to watch the polo horses, called Raising Hope for Epilepsy. And there's more. Television and film star William Devane, he's the celebrity host. So he's going to be there, and you're going to be there, right?
He will be there. I will be there. There's another little actor. His name is Zachary, and Alexander Rice will be there. I'm sure I have some of my friends that are in music and TV that will be coming out to show their support. If anyone's listening to this and they don't think they can make it, I definitely think they should clear their calendars.
I agree. First of all, let me go back to Zachary. Zachary is adorable. He is so cute. His name is Zachary Alexander Rice. And lately, he's been at every single pet event in Los Angeles that I've been to. He's been at 2 Super Smiley Flash Mob events. RJ, I don't know if you know, my dog Smiley is a rescue. All my animals are rescued.
I think we've met in person at a dog event.
That's right. I talked to your mother, and Smiley has a Flash Mob campaign that's touring across the country. So, and you know what, RJ? Speaking of people with disabilities, Smiley invites everyone to join in his dance. We've had little children, we've had older people, and we've even had people in wheelchairs doing the Super Smiley Flash Mob. They move their arms, they turn the wheelchairs around, and their service dogs are there, and it is the coolest thing ever. So if you're ever in LA, we want you to come dance with us at the Super Smiley Flash Mob. We would totally love it. But anyway, back to the topic here with the Hope for Epilepsy. That day is March 17th, right? It's coming up.
13th from 1:30 to 4:30.
1:30 to 4:30, and everybody's invited. You can come out and meet RJ, meet Zachary, and William Devane, and there's going to be a luncheon. There's going to be fun stuff, right? A luncheon. What else is going on?
There's going to be a lot of stuff out there. I don't have all the information with me right now.
Oh, that's okay. Well, I heard there's going to be a luncheon, and the divot, they do the divot stomp where you go out and you stomp the ground flat. That's going to be champagne's going to be served, so that's going to be fun if you're an adult to have some champagne while you stomp the divots, and a silent auction, and meeting you. So, I mean, what a cool day. What a very cool day, right?
People need to realize that there is not a lot of study done on epilepsy. Yes, it's been around. It's like all disabilities. Yes, they've been around for a very long time, but there's not too much research done on epilepsy, and this would definitely be a big help, and it's very important that people come out and show their support and buy a ticket, or if not, even just donate a little bit, because it will help so many people. I can't talk too much about it right now, but I've been doing some procedures to try to pretty much, I've been a guinea pig that they've been like, oh, let's see how this affects CP. And let's see how this CP. And it's really interesting to see how many studies are out and how many studies actually get approved and how many don't get approved. And not just for epilepsy, but for all disabilities. if you help one, you're helping all of them.
Right. I love that. You're right. And there are many studies, but they do take a long time. I have to go through a lot of red tape. So we do invite people to come out and support. They can go buy tickets, and you can also find out more information, everybody, at poloforhope.org. That's POLO,
yes.
poloforhope.org. And if you can't make it, like RJ said, they also are accepting silent auction items. So if you can't go all the way down there to Indio, which is right near Palm Springs in California, you can donate silent auction items or just send in a donation, and we'll let you know what's going on. There are a lot of ways you can get involved, right?
There's lots of ways to get involved in. And even if you can't send a donation, helping in your community, helping getting off the couch, moving forward. There's so much that goes on in this world that we can all make a difference if we just take a little extra time. And it may not be a minute, it may not be an hour, but if there's something there, there's something there. And just to show your support is really, really helpful.
That's right. I love that, RJ. And thank you, RJ, for all that you're doing for humans and for animals. And Smiley and I want to wish you the best of luck with Breaking Bad. And you have another project coming up too, right? A film project you're working on?
I have several film projects coming up. I have one that will be in Paris in June that we're going to be working on. And then,
wow. I love that, RJ. We're jealous. We're going to be thinking about you in June over there in Paris.
I'm like, yeah. And then I'm like, no, I have to work.
No, you'll have a great time. And one project I have here is called House of Last Things. Is that the one in Paris, or is that something different?
The Holy Ghost is another project. The House of Last Things will be coming out. We've already filmed it, shot it, edited it. It will be released sometime this year. I'm still waiting to find out all the dates on it, but it's a supernatural thriller.
Okay. House of Last Things, supernatural thriller released sometimes this year. We're going to be looking for that, RJ. And before we go, RJ, Smiley always has something to say to me, always. So if Miss Pearl could tell us something, what do you think she'd say on our show? What would she want us to know?
Miss Pearl could tell you anything. Thank y'all for having. Thank y'all for Master on, probably.
Oh, that's so sweet. Well, tell Miss Pearl that we're honored that she let you be on the show with us today. And a reminder from Smiley here to share his Flash Mob documentaries for pet adoption and kindness. You can catch his videos at youtube.com/Megan Blake or at smileythedog.com. And RJ, do you have a Facebook or a website or where people can go and keep up with what you're doing?
I have a Facebook and I have a Twitter and I have an Instagram. So RJ Mitte, if you put that in your Google.
Just Google you.
On your Twitter, on your Facebook, on your Instagram, it'll pull me up.
Okay, very, very cool. And we want to remind everybody also, poloforhope.org is what we're on talking about today with the polo ponies. And we want to give a big 4 paws up and thank you to RJ Mitte for joining us on a Super Smiley Adventure. Thank you, RJ.
Thank y'all for having me. And definitely, hopefully I'll see y'all at the polo match.
Yeah, come out and see RJ. And from all of us here at Pet Life Radio, until next time, woof and super smiles.
Let's Talk Pets, every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.